Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tez back at you with another Eden Zero video, man. Chapter 125. Guys, this one right here, I mean, this one was one for the books. It's a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of unexpected things happening, some amazing information has been dropped on us. But before anything else goes into play, if you haven't already hit that like button for your boy, go ahead, put anything in the comments. If you get to the point of this video and you remember to comment, go ahead and do that for your boy. But yeah, man, getting right into it. So we open up with the Eden Zero still appearing to be in the middle of battle. As it stands, Witch is noting contact with Wise and Hermit has basically been lost, and Colleen is mentally unraveling. Like, remember last time when we saw her, she was kind of freaked out, saying that somebody bad is currently in this area. Jesus, I need to get my vocals right. I can't even talk. So while Sister is just as confused, Jen tells them that they're coming back to the ship, because pretty much like I said, Colleen is in a panic and something doesn't seem right. So you look down at the panel and you kind of see Sister has this darted, serious look on her face as well. But then we get back into space with Laguna and my boy Moscoy, and basically they were giving orders for Laguna to head into the satellite and Moscoy to deal with any further enemies flying around. But he, funny enough, says, yo, where would you like me to throw my weight? Like, if you haven't checked my man, he out there with the nips out, in the damn Speedo, flying through space with the cheesiest grin on his face.
What?
He out there with the nips out, with the nips out, with the nips out.
What the f?
Moscow is how I try to probably be all day, every day, any day in my life. That carefree, minus the space, minus the nips out, minus the Speedo, all that other stuff. So yeah. So once we get back to the next panels, we get into seeing Wise and Hermit battling with the doctor, or Dr. Muller, who pretty much has our boy by the head. Wise is trying to contemplate whether he wants to use his Aether gear to control his arsenal gear, which that's the body armor that he's been using, but he's unsure about whether or not it will go well. But he needs to get free in order to help Hermit, who's still in shock, because if you do not recall, Dr. Muller was the one who basically made our girl the way she is. He made her dislike humans to the point that she wanted to recluse herself and truly become what her name, detailed. So Wise, being able to execute his plan, made it successfully happen. He was able to activate his armor with his Aether gear just to control the joints and get it done. But he did make a subtle note that it requires more Aether than normal for him to use it. So after he freed Hermit and bringing her back to her normal self, just letting her know that you have a friend here, like, you don't have to worry. The power of friendship is a big thing in this one, like anything else, because we know who the creator is. But I like a lot more the fact that this has a lot of heavy implications, and there are some deaths, and it's not so much of a turnaround on everything as we've seen in previous chapters. So let's just keep moving. So basically he tells her he needs her assistance to modify the server, and with everything that just transpired, Muller is basically displeased at the defiance of these two, and he begins to pull this lever, which makes the robots down on Forrester even more violent and start annihilating the humans. And I'm like, yo, these people are wild. I mean, they're really wild. And then we go back down to the planet and we see the robots begin to start killing the humans, just firing lasers and guns off. And Rebecca's looking on in horror as her, Pino, and Happy are still trying to escape the planet. And it's when we see this child running away, and then Rebecca and Happy leap right into action to save this child. But it draws the attention of more of the robots that are basically gone rogue and starting to kill other humans. But that's when, our little girl Pino pops in and uses her EMP to disable and shut them down, which successfully allows our gang to escape. So we return to our mysterious robot in Shiki, whom asks this mysterious robot who he is, because he noticed that he can use gravity, and he uses it in a way that's pretty much unknown to Shiki. So he uses it to pull Shiki's pain away, though he claims it only made him lighter. But if you look at the panels, you notice like the scars or the injuries from Shiki are kind of vanishing or being pulled off of his body. And I was like, wow, so that's something completely different with gravity, or are there different facets to Aether gear depending on the types and variants that we don't know a lot about Aether Gear. Sorry, I said Ether. We don't know a lot about Aether Gear as a whole just yet, because this is still fairly brand new. We just learned about the awakening state of people with Aether Gear from the battle with Draken Joe. Aha, that's the gentleman who I could not recall his name in the 124 review, Draken Joe. So yeah, and he basically states that gravity transcends concepts, or more so the the natural laws. Gee, man, come on, Tess, get it right. Transcends the natural laws in itself. It's the weight of one's heart, as he said previously when he introduced himself to Shiki in the last chapter at the end. So it's a lot of things that gravity potentially can do. Like, it can attract a girl from the future or draw others' hearts into your own. It's an infinite force with powers, which makes it all the more dangerous. So like, he's really letting us know that gravity is nothing to be played with. Like, it can really be make or break. It can really do some things if you know what you're doing with it. And then we get back to James and Elsie, who are still going head to head, creating more destruction when they get interrupted by some of the drones in the sky, who basically come to check on the source of the high ether, but are also still under the control of the whatever the program was that Muller infused into that actual lever when he pulled it, and they want to annihilate them. But they both easily dodge the attack as if nothing could be any more easy, just like breathing, and both of them get ready to use the same exact move, but you uttering different phrases, as they both are using the same type of ether gear or have the same ether gear. But I'm still confused as to why they share this. I kind of assumed, you know, some things, but I'll leave that for another day when we get a little more information flushed out. So they're both getting ready to use 7 stars, the Grand Chariot move, but for LZ, it's more so of a leave your mark, and for Justice or James, it's pass your judgment, because these are both of their relative perspectives and ideologies, I guess. So we begin to see our mysterious robot, who's talking about how all these robots are making a lot of noise on this planet. He begins to generate this gravity on his hand and uses an attack, or more so a scalar move, called Center of Gravity. Magimech attack, Center of Gravity. And with such force, you can see this thing literally to begin to pull everything down into this one centralized location, like a black hole, or pretty much the abyss, or the center mass of something. Like, everything, even as high as the Eden Zero up in space, however far that is, because we don't know what that relatively is, it's being pulled down just as well. And this begins to kind of pull everybody down. I mean, everything and everybody is getting pulled down. Like, all the rampaging bots have been basically brought down to a halt, and all the other people, LZ's folks, as well as Justice's people, and even Hamura, everyone's a little confused. And Hamura kind of, she phrases like, could this be Shiki? We know Shiki's powerful, but Shiki doesn't really know how to truly tap into his gravity like this. And then Shiki questions the bot about who he is. Like, he was like, yo, you stopped everything and everybody from moving. And he let Shiki know he is the founder of the School of Gravity Martial Arts, Xenolith. He is his grandfather, Demon King Ziggy's mentor. Like, guys, this was a hell of an introduction for the OG of this art style, and I'm honestly looking forward to seeing what more he could possibly teach Shiki, or what Shiki may be able to unravel and unlock, and even further enhance himself with his own unique fighting style and ideology. But overall, guys, this chapter, man, these last 3 have been almost, if not an 8 to a 10 for me, without a shadow of a doubt. But like next time and any other time, man, I'm always keep saying this. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Wash your hands, wash your ass, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.